Gabriel Shipton, in fact, who's a filmmaker and is brother of Julian Assange, is joining us now, having just wrapped up his national tour. Gabriel, what can you tell us about what the American public seems to know about the Julian Assange case?
Yeah, the people we met across the US, they understand. I mean, we spoke to thousands of people, and they understand the importance of this case and what it means to press freedoms and the First Amendment. They understand the anti-war aspects and also what it means to internet freedom as well. So I think that out there, the people that we spoke to, there's a general quite a concern that that the implications of this case to press freedoms.
One of the most interesting aspects I think that Brian focused on and that you just mentioned, Gabriel, is the extent that this is relevant to journalists and to the press. And I'm curious if you guys hear much from the press. I mean, do you get a lot of inquiries from some of these legacy media outlets? Because it seems to me that there's a deafening silence coming from them as it relates to this case and the charges and their relevance to people that work in media.
Well, I think in this case, you expect legacy media to act in their own interest, right? Like if they're talking about this case, outlining what these charges are about, they're protecting their own power. These charges are an attack on their freedom to publish. So it is a bit perplexing that legacy media aren't out there doing more to help people to understand what this is about and fighting for this prosecution to be stopped.
Gabriel, can you tell us a little bit about how Julian is doing? He just turned 50 the other day. Where is he being held, under what conditions, and how often are you able to communicate with him?
So Julian is in maximum security prison outside London. He's in prison with, the most dangerous, violent criminals in the UK. It's his third year in that prison. He's sort of stuck in this limbo, which is this. It's been 6 months since he won his extradition case, and we still don't know whether there will be an appeal or not. So he's, in this limbo with no, he's an innocent man. So he's on remand. He doesn't have a sentence. And that's just another abuse of process that's been leveraged against him. He's been going through, reputational attacks, attacks on his human dignity, attacks on his freedom for the past 12 years. And Nils Melzer, the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, found that he was being psychologically tortured. So he's basically been crushed from the inside out, and it's taking its toll on him. I saw him in October last year, just before the jail went into lockdown and they stopped visits. Seeing him over the years, you can see how he's deteriorating. And Nils Melzer called it a slow motion murder. So, it's sort of heartbreaking for me to watch. But we just do what we can, and the things that we do, like my father and I, and doing the tour, that keeps his spirits up. And visits have just started back up again, so he's been able to see his children a couple of weeks ago for the first time in 8 months. So, these little things, keep him going despite all the pressure that's being piled on top of him.
So the tour, I imagine, was aimed at energizing the public and shaping public opinion. Do you see public opinion to exert pressure on the Biden administration as the most hopeful route for your family? Is the goal to really amplify public pressure in a way that exerts pressure on the Biden administration, and then you're sort of able to see a hopeful path forward?
Yeah, I think so. I think all of these types of movements, start from the ground up, So, I think that's what we were in the US, trying to build that momentum. And as we moved across the country, we saw that every event that we went to, there were more and more people. We were getting more and more interest from the media, usually independent media, but some of the legacy media were wanting to talk to us about the case. So, it's just building that movement, and there is a base already there, but just getting all the groups together, connecting them, reinvigorating them, and I think we've seen the results. You're having me on your show, which is fantastic.
Gabriel, thanks for joining us. Where can people go to learn more about the case?
They can go to assangedefense.org.
Great. Well, thanks again. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to you and your family.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Thanks, guys.
Much appreciated. Well, coming up, all-star panelists Michael Starr Hopkins and Inez Stepman are with us when Rising returns.